This is UFL Primetime here in the FN world, here on YouTube. Welcome to Milwaukee, where the Stags are just a win away to going over about 500. Meanwhile, Dallas, a win could keep them tied atop the Great East Conference with Miami, who just won earlier this week. Hello, folks. I'm Tyler Falk. I am glad and fortunate to welcome inside the booth the man who survived some ordeals. Great to have you in the booth here, John Warren. Welcome in.
Hey, I couldn't miss this game. It's a really interesting game between two high-octane offenses. Dallas lost two straight before bouncing back against Cincinnati. They looked pretty good in that game. Milwaukee, for their part, they've won two straight in really impressive fashion to get to 500. I am looking forward to this one. Milwaukee at home has got a lot to prove. Dallas got to stay on track. Like you said, going up against Miami in the Great East. They will not meet in the regular season, but maybe playoff seeding on the line down the line.
And here we go from Milwaukee, as the Stags will take the opening kickoff back across the 20 and finally down at the 24-yard line. That is where Adam Wiseman will trot his troops out onto the line. And for the Stags to start off on a first down pass, screenplay right side, going nowhere, backward a couple of yards. Jarek Briggs gets behind the line for a loss of 4.
That one right there with the catch behind the line. Easy, just the block's not there. Dallas crowding right there. But, you know, Adam Wiseman has been a really high-octane quarterback, 19 touchdowns, really protected the football, too, all season. He's been a really, really big part of Milwaukee's success.
Wiseman will again go in the gun. It'll be another flip out near side on a bubble screen. And this time, Wright's able to kind of wriggle his way further upfield. It'll be third and long upcoming, but that front five really helps Adam Wiseman stay up, and they're going to be key here tonight, John.
Yeah, and also blocking for Rocco McLongfellow, who's been an impressive back in his rookie season. Mike Churchill, Scorch Henderson at wide receiver. We've already seen Daiwan Wright get involved, but I know Scorch and Mike Churchill will as well.
Talk more about Churchill here in a moment. That one's picked off. One of Wiseman's rare interceptions is intercepted by Carter Brooks, and he makes a house call. Touchdown, Talons.
I need to see this replay. I have no idea what Wiseman was looking at, but he threw it right to Briggs, right to Brooks, who just takes it to the house right away. That's just about the worst way you could start a drive here in front of your home crowd. What a deflating play. This Dallas Talons team, good at making house calls. They made a few in the games that I've called, and they are great at turning defensive turnovers into points, an immediate offense. Dallas takes an early lead here. Ooh, Milwaukee looks a little shook.
You target the same wide receiver on 3 consecutive plays. The defense is going to have to key in, and Dallas does just that. It makes Wiseman and the Stags team pay here at home. Dallas's 3rd pick 6 of the season. Going along with your point there, John, my goodness, it just has not gone the way at least the script writers would have wanted for Milwaukee here to begin the ball game.
No, but you know what's interesting is that Dallas actually, they've done this a few games this year. They get on top of their opponents early, and they let them hang around. So Milwaukee's got to take the history of the league so far this season, take that into account, try to shake this off. Wiseman knows the mistake he made. He usually protects the football a little bit better. I think they're still very much in this game. Obviously, it's so early, just 1 touchdown. Wiseman's got to be a little more careful. He's got to live up to his name a little bit, make some smarter decisions, not go to, the same wide receiver, Daiwan Wright, just over and over and over again. Look for some other targets.
Maybe look for Mike Churchill, who just this past week was able to set the league record for receiving yards. This time they'll check it down underneath to the tight end, Dallas Wright. He'll pick up about 6.
Yeah, and that's, it's a cliche for a reason, but tight ends are security blankets. If you make a mistake, look for a tight end. Get them involved early, and you can get back on track.
Stretch play near side. Pretty decent blocking there for Rocco Longfellow as he gets his first touch of the night. Goes for 8 yards and a Milwaukee first down.
Yeah, easy pickings there. It was just really good blocking. Dallas not ready for a run to that side. It looked like Longfellow took advantage of it with an 8-yard gain.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
Tight ends. But off the line, wide receivers on the line here on this first down play. They'll try and run up the middle. Longfellow tries to bounce it out to the outside and is gobbled up before he can get any further forward. And let's take a look at this Talons defense. We already mentioned one of them, but Frank Bernstein is the captain there in that secondary.
Yeah, Ryan Venholton up front is just one of the most destructive defensive linemen in football. We just saw Crandall Daniels with that tackle, but Garrett Briggs at end, also very good. Of course, Frank Bernstein. And we've seen what the secondary can do already. They can turn interceptions into points pretty quickly.
Run. It looked like a zone blocking set for the line up front. Maybe another yard on that carry as it brings up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 is tough against Dallas. Receivers kind of bunched up again. Wiseman going to be looking to throw here.
Wiseman backing up, floating it into coverage. It's bobbled and picked off for the second straight drive. And it's going to go back again toward midfield. And down, Jordan Palmer hauls in the loose football. And Dallas is set to go to work on offense for the first time tonight, already up by 7.
Yeah, and Wiseman, listen, this is a perfectly thrown football, but it was still a bad choice. There were so many people right there. He knew he was going to take a hit. They popped it out. There's almost no team I've seen this year better at the tip drill than the Dallas Talons. Jordan Palmer right there at strong safety, free safety, making the interception. Frank Bernstein, the captain, very proud of his guys in the secondary so far. 2 interceptions against a player that at the top of this game, I said, likes to take care of the football. Could not have jinxed him harder than I did tonight.
And off middle, no play action. Pass deep left side. It is incomplete. Cameron Duty, the quarterback, looking for Rashid Lockley. First play, that combination there, John, has been dynamite all season.
They've been great, but I want to just point out Will Shackelford there at safety, getting his hands up. That was a perfectly placed ball, but just great coverage by the Stags.
Pass to Freddie Grady on the left side. Little bubble screen working pretty well for Dallas. It's a 9-yard pickup, setting up 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, if Lockley is shut down vertically, Grady is a great option underneath to do a bubble screen or an underneath pass. He could just get upfield so quickly.
Well, again with an RPO. This one out to Lockley on the right side. He picks up the first down yardage up to the 34.
It's kind of dealer's choice on that one. I think if he'd handed the ball off, it would have been 5 yards or so. Still, Lockley getting more than enough for a first down. Yeah, they were just not in position to deal with an RPO like that on either side. So good call either way. Lockley getting the first down after getting knocked out of bounds.
That's the beauty of the new RPO, isn't it? It's really, play action. You're always looking for, always going to that pass more often than not. But the RPO has really just made defenses have to play a little bit smarter. Blitz coming here on first down. Duty protected well. Slant pat him over the middle. Wide open receiver near the 20-yard line. Hauled in by Isaiah Taylor, and Dallas continues to chug down this field.
Yeah, just a lot of time for Cameron Duty to make his reads and for that route to develop from Taylor. Just got ahead of everyone there. Soft part of the coverage, able to get another couple yards after catch too. So Dallas humming in their first official offensive drive.
If Dallas wasn't, or excuse me, if Isaiah wasn't open, Freddie was open right behind him. Really could not be going any better right now for the Talons offense. Porter calling a great job. Another good block up the middle, and nothing but space for Travius James to run through. He's taken a couple hits, and it's really impacted his speed, but when he gets blocking like that, he really doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's not the fastest player on the field, but when you don't get touched until 8 yards downfield, it really doesn't matter. He likes to lower his shoulder, get a couple extra yards there. Travius James is going to have a big game if the Stags don't kind of get any sort of penetration on that offensive line.
Here we go, set, 10 logo.
Under center again goes Cameron Duty. Play action, Duty looking, end zone, open receiver, but a little bit of miscommunication. Ends up in Duty's second incomplete pass of the night.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like the receiver may have just kind of overrun the route, ran out of room there in the back of the end zone. Either way, it didn't look like a perfectly placed ball either. So,
handoff middle, James trying to check that, not James, Taryn Walls, the backup tailback, trying to make a man miss, but he's no Travion James, who does have a nasty juke in his arsenal.
Yeah, he does. This is a big 3rd and goal here. Stags looking to keep him to a field goal attempt.
Into the backfield, but Duty will look to the air, end zone. That is caught with one hand, but they'll say he's out of bounds. Grady couldn't keep both feet in bounds.
That was an outstanding catch, but it's not going to count. I don't think he had his right foot in bounds. Yeah, I don't think he did. I want to take another look at that. We'll maybe see if there's a review, but he looked out. So we're going to go for a field goal here.
On to tackle the first offensive points of the ball game is Corey Ruth. That kick is up and good. Just a little chip shot, and it's already 10-0. Dallas over Milwaukee halfway through this first quarter. And, well, if you're a Milwaukee fan, you're looking for your offense to come out on the board, and you're like, where the heck is Churchill? He's been bottled up all game here early so far. He had 3 touchdowns in the 52-31 win over Houston last week.
Yeah, and he's going to get touches here, but what they really need to be doing right now is establishing a run game, because right now Dallas is licking their chops. I mean, I think they're going to come after Wiseman on this drive. I think they're going to expect more tip drills. I think they're going to get their hands up. No team is better than at batting balls down and into the air that I've seen this year. So Milwaukee's got to maybe keep it grounded a little bit. Give the ball to McLongfellow, see what he can do.
They are the 6th worst team in terms of average yards per carry in the league, only with 3.8. Don't have one of the best rushing yards totals either. They're also bottom 10 in that category as well. They really rely on Wiseman, who has already been picked off twice tonight. They're really going to have to change up the philosophy here to keep up with Dallas. They go with the ground game, trying to run up the middle and then trying to cut it over the right-hand side. Is the tailback McLongfellow? He picks up 3.
Yeah, and you'll see a little bit of that, immaturity and patience from McLongfellow. As you alluded to, this is not a great rushing team, but they do need to establish some alternative other than what Wiseman's been offering, because Dallas has been ready for all of it.
They tried to fake the sweep, and Dallas was having none of it. McLongfellow's going to lose 2 of the yards that he picked up on first down, make it 3rd and 9.
Thomas there with the tackle. It's just hard. You can't really get too cute with the Dallas Talons. They just are so disciplined on defense. They don't take a lot of foolish chances with their play calls and their reads. This is another huge 3rd and long here for Milwaukee.
Another time that Wiseman will have to go into the gun and try and look right side. Another floater. It's nearly picked up again. Are you kidding me? Gerard Marshall nearly had pick number 3 for Dallas in the first quarter.
And Wiseman is lucky. I mean, very lucky, genuinely, that was not intercepted. If that is a hands team player, he is getting chewed out on Monday morning for that tape. But that's just another unwise throw from Adam Wiseman, and a 3 and out.
Here's the return. Dallas after the punt, not going to get 2 yards after that, and that is where Dallas will take over. They were able to march down the field in their first offensive drive and back home 3. Oh, what does drive number 2 look like? Because that running attack really looked like it was clicking from all cylinders to begin the game, John.
I think keep it going, but I wouldn't be surprised if they take another Lockley shot downfield.
They'll try another run instead. That is Walls there on the give. He gets 7. That's nice to see if you're a Dallas fan. Your second and third stringers getting plenty of yards and contributing.
Absolutely, and a lot of it starts with this offensive line. It's been pretty good all season.
Wide off to the right. Duty gonna look to throw. Looking left side, and Milwaukee nearly had a grab of their own. Marvin Sheet tried to haul it in with one hand.
Yeah, Sheed was a little bit behind Sheed, but he got his big paw up there, tried to reel it in, but it fell to the ground. Duty's got a second chance, 3rd and 3.
Oh, 3 tight ends trying to block for Travius James, who does enough to get the first down and keep the drive going.
That's the other part of the run game that could be deflating is, you get them in a 3rd down. You just get your big guys on the line, push them around, get those yards, not a whole lot more. It's deflating. I mean, it happens a lot with this Talons team. Get these short yardage situations, they convert. It's just deflating.
Left side, they'll try and pitch it to the bunts with James. He tries to use his acceleration to get out there, and he's going to be bottled up before he can even, well, he does manage to get at least a yard.
Yeah, it looked like when he went out of bounds, he put the ball just forward enough to get let's call it half a yard on that run. It was not much.
Formation, quick drop, heavy blitz coming, that is caught, turning the field, up the field goes the big Neil Rivers out of a tackle, and Neil Rivers is gonna take it all the way to the barn. A 62-yard strike from the big man.
I'm laughing because I don't even think this was for him. I think that was for the backup tight end there, Charlie Elliott. Doesn't matter. Rivers was just in front of it, got his hands up, and then made everyone miss, turned on the afterburners, and scored a touchdown. Oh my God, what a weapon Neil Rivers is for the Talons, a highlight reel tight end. And Dallas is cooking early here. Oh my goodness.
Cruising well enough to get over there, but just couldn't bring down the big 6'4", 240 tight end. And, well, I think it really owes up to Kesnick Ross, who was looking like he was in a turnstile to start his coverage out there. But regardless, Dallas 17, Milwaukee nothing, and the Talons are having a field day here in Wisconsin.
I think the Stag defense saw where the routes were going, assumed that was going to Charlie Elliott, who was totally stopped flat-footed there, a couple yards past Neil Rivers. Rivers, for whatever reason, decides to step in front of that ball in stride, and I swear it was the difference maker. Those Stag players could not figure out where to go. They looked a little bit discombobulated, could not make the tackle. I mean, listen, that's a lot of individual effort from Neil Rivers, but it started with, I think, a little bit of confusion from that Stags defense.
Kick is away as Milwaukee will elect to return this one and get all the way up to the 8-yard line this time on this return. And you really gotta find that spark here, John, when you're down here by 3 scores. Try and get back in this game.
I mean, it's early, you know. Last drive out, I said, okay, establish the run game, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, man. Like, air it out to Mike Churchill. Like, try to get something going here because this is not good.
By a stop route, and Daryl Andrews, the corner, was all over that one.
Yeah, Scorch had no chance to get that one. Scorch Henderson there was the intended target and just absolutely zero chance of catching that one.
Very rare formation here for Milwaukee. They try to go RPO. It's blown up before it even gets started. Unclaimed defensive tackle Herschel Beasley.
Oh my gosh, this is relentless. I have not seen a game that has been this dominated by one team in the first quarter in quite some time. The Talons are white hot, and Milwaukee just has no answer in any phase of the game.
Everything that has gone wrong or could have gone wrong has gone wrong. Wiseman looking right side.
There we go.
Completion of longer than 15 yards. Dijon Wright's third reception. That picks up the first down in quite some time.
The one right there making the grab. I mean, that was just in the nick of time. Wiseman got absolutely nailed. But Wright able to get a step on his defender, make that sideline catch, and get the first down. That is, I believe, I believe that might be their first down of the game. It might just be their second. I'll have to
That's
look.
their first down passing. Second
Yeah.
one, they didn't have a rushing one. That one's caught by
right.
Churchill. That's a stop route that finally works in their favor as the defenders overran the route. And now Milwaukee is showing some signs of life on offense.
Yeah, and Churchill getting involved is a really welcome sign. You can almost hear the sigh of relief here in the stadium that Churchill is getting involved. Nice little stop route. Got a few extra yards. That's a welcome sight. Wiseman hitting his targets quickly and decisively. Another welcome sight.
That's 30 seconds and ticking in the first quarter. Handoff middle, nothing doing. Mick Longfellow having quite the long face at the moment as Roberts and Dallas are just giving him the business.
Yeah, they planned on stopping him all game, and it is not been easy for McLongfellow to get those 10 yards on 6 carries. I expect that to continue.
60 outlaw.
Triple tight ends right. Might be able to get this play out before the end of the quarter. No, they'll let it go. 17 points for Dallas in the first quarter. Last 8 quarters before this, just 23. Dallas on a tear to begin this one here at the end of week 10. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. Welcome back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tyler Falk and John Warren here on the call. Glad to have you with us. Pass right side on the corner route. That one's going to go inside the 20. There's Milwaukee's offense. Dallas Wright getting in the action again.
Yeah, Wiseman just looks more refreshed. I don't know what it is, whether it's the just some sort of extra gear he's got, some determination. But everything is clicking right now in those last 3 plays. Milwaukee, I think, happy to be out of that first quarter. They were outscored and outgained in just about every department. So Milwaukee cooking right now in this drive. They're inside the red zone.
Sometimes it's all it takes. Just a little slap in the mouth, and all of a sudden, all right, here we go. Let's get back to work here. McLovin, better carry, better blocking up front. That gets 7 yards to the 11-yard line.
McLovin. I think we should call him McLovin because right now he is a card-carrying minor trying to buy beer illegally, it looks like. Not running the football well, but he got the first down that time.
Pass left side. Scorch has the reception. And a pretty good one of that in coverage. And it's first and goal for Milwaukee. Wideouts, 2 tight ends. They'll try and make Longfellow again, and he rolls toward the 1. Stop just shy. I'll say a knee or elbow got down prior, and it's second and goal.
Can't believe they didn't give him that. It looked like maybe his shoulder hit right at the goal line.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58.
Dallas looks like they're in a zone as Milwaukee in the
There we
gun.
go.
They're in a handoff. Rocco is in. He's rocking it for Milwaukee's first score of the game, and it couldn't come in a moment too soon. They're now down back by 2 scores.
Longfellow gets the glory here, but all of the real work was Adam Wiseman. I just think he was decisive. He was clear with his intentions, throwing to those routes. He was accurate. I really liked the decisiveness he had on that play. Made everyone in the stadium remember why they've won 4 games this season, and a few of them very decisively. This offense has been pretty potent, and that was a good drive for Milwaukee.
Finally get back on the board. 17-10 the scoreline now here in Wisconsin. Keep an eye on Green Gridiron Socials presenting soon the next 4 teams in collaboration with the UFL that will bring all 32 teams to life with full-size helmet replicas. It's just the first way the UFL is bringing these teams to life. They make it real, and so do all of you. For more info on all the amazing products Green Gridiron has to offer, visit greengridiron.com. And that kickoff will be taken down in the end zone, down for a touchback. And so Dallas will start on their own 25-yard line, and it's been smooth sailing for the Talons here, John.
It has, but I will be very curious to see if Milwaukee's defense gets a little bit emboldened by what they saw on the offensive side. Maybe throw Dallas some curveballs here.
And run near side. Juke moving, going.
Oh, my
Almost
goodness.
gone. Travis James flips the field on a play, nearly goes 50 yards.
Get out of town. I mean, we talked about Travius's speed issues. If he did not have those, that would be a no doubt touchdown. But that initial juke move, which you alluded to earlier, one of the best in the league, and just depleted Coles there. My goodness. Got a huge gain, and you love to see it if you're Cameron Duty and the Dallas Talons.
Just like that, Dallas is in familiar territory for pretty much the entirety of this game on Milwaukee's side of midfield. I formation now here for Duty. Blade handoff, no, play action. Duty's hit hard, down it goes. Memorius Burns shows a little bit of backbone for the Stags defense.
And that's a coverage sack, right? I mean, there's just too much time. Cameron Duty can't hold on to the ball that long. I know he's been able to take off and get some extra yardage in the past with his feet, but decides to just hold on a little bit too long. Burns there, finally getting to home, makes the big sack, putting Dallas in a hole for a second down.
And he's in a mismatch. He's used as one of those blitz linemen, but he's a outside linebacker. He's 5'11", going against a 6'2", 250 lineman, and somehow finally able to muscle his way past middle. That one is Rivers to make up a big chunk of those yards lost. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Yeah, 72 yards already for Neil Rivers, and that's just no one looks better in stride on the tight end position than Neil Rivers. He's just so fast for that position. Smooth route runner, soft hands, tough in the middle, just a total prototypical tight end. You can't ask for more from Neil Rivers.
Duty will spread the field now, 4 wide. Stepping back, 5-man rush, pass middle, wide open. Guess who? Rashard Lockley in nothing but time and space, and Dallas answers the touchdown with one of their own.
I mean, that looked so easy. That looked unbelievably easy. There was no how do you draw up a coverage plan that doesn't account for Rashad Lockley? There was no one around him. I have no idea what Milwaukee was thinking on that play call. It's the perfect time to look for Lockley in exactly the position he was in. I think that was a failure of imagination from this defensive coaching staff. That was brutal. Milwaukee, after putting 7 on the board, giving it right back up to Dallas. That was an impressive drive from the Talons.
A quick 4-play, 75-yard drive that barely took up a minute and a half out of the game clock. Just
brutal.
It's Dallas is showing the UFL why here tonight, why they are the cream of the crop in the East.
Yeah, I think they saw that Miami game and they came out and said, all right, like, bet we're gonna get up early on Milwaukee. They want to hold this lead. Obviously, they want to make a statement here, and I think they want to be considered. Even though Miami's going to hold the tiebreaker for a little while with conference, they want to be considered the best in the East.
Back in the end zone, and so Milwaukee will start another drive. on their own 25. Churchill and Wiseman were able to lead the offense down the field to get a touchdown. Now they got to do it again and again, it would seem.
Yeah, they've got to do this at least 3 unanswered times, and this defense for Milwaukee looks terrible right now. So that's going to be a tough road to hoe.
And Wiseman gonna uncork this one into double coverage, bubbled and nearly picked. Just, he's got a great cannon on that of an arm, but maybe doesn't have it all to go all 75 yards.
No, I don't know what that play call was. They're abundantly lucky that was not picked off.
And rush pass underneath there, Churchill. That's a gain of about 8. And that makes third down a little bit easier. And that's the type of play you need from Wiseman. You don't need them to really to get too flustered. You just need to come up with a stable, uncompromising game plan that's going to get you yards. And it's a read option.
Oh, man.
And Wiseman keeps, but maybe the wrong decision. Down he goes for a loss. And the drive for Milwaukee stalls.
Tyler, partner, like, what is this call? Like, I don't understand it. I mean, Wiseman is not that guy. That was not the position in the field to do that. I don't understand. You have Churchill, who is such a great player, 8 to 12 to 15 yards downfield. I'm perplexed right now.
Punt is on its way here from Milwaukee. Take the return through one and gets pile drive. Lynch averaging about 3 yards of return, only able to get that one up to the 21 and out trots Cameron Duty. 6 to 10, 2 TDs. And you're like, well, how they got so many points? Well, it's the defense that's gotten them all the way there. And we'll bring in our AI expert here just in that last sequence of plays for Milwaukee. A little bit of head scratching for us, but he'll know more here in a second. Incomplete pass. That's a rare miscue from Cameron Duty. Cameron Irvine, meanwhile, what you got on that 3rd and 1?
Hey, fellas, yeah, it's very interesting. It's week 10 in the UFL, and Milwaukee's lost, 4 games coming in, right? So they've had 4 opportunities to make adjustments. But when you're talking about a playbook that has about 50 different compartments to it, 3rd down and short really hasn't been a problem for Milwaukee this season. And we certainly haven't seen that call very often, but that's one of those things where it has the potential to be called. They may not often be in that situation, and then maybe for the first time in 10 weeks we actually see that called. So if Milwaukee comes up short in this one, as they do get the stop there, they depending upon how this night goes along, that those 3rd down situations could be something that Milwaukee takes a look at next. But there's so many different things in a playbook. It takes a long time before you're humming on all cylinders sometimes.
Thank you, Cam. Poppy Coles and another member of the secondary, Coleman, able to come up with the big 3rd down stop, and so Milwaukee's going to force
big development.
Dallas. Yeah, it's a massive turnaround for Milwaukee. First defensive stop of the game that hasn't resulted in points, and so Milwaukee's now going to have a chance to do some damage after the pretty decent return from Scorch. A 21-yard return, and Milwaukee going to go to work on their own 36.
3 and out, and Scorch had a good return. They're at their own 36-yard line. Not bad starting field position. I mean, this is not bad. I mean, that defensive stop might have been more important than that initial touchdown that Milwaukee scored, honestly, because I don't know what they were going to do against this Dallas offense.
Wiseman over the middle, caught. Dallas right to tight end on a little Texas route. Working well, picking up 11 for Milwaukee's first down.
Dallas right with the Texas route is exactly right, and got that first down pretty easy.
Squash, he's going to get the handoff, and he just cannot get around Darrell Lawrence. He'll gain a yard for his troubles.
Nothing doing there. Talons had that scouted pretty clearly.
Safety coming down toward the right side of the line. I formation now behind Wiseman, another receiver going in motion. They will hand off to traditional McLongfellow, but he is pushed backward by 3 Talons. He's going to go nowhere. Milwaukee's going to go nowhere. Now they got 3rd and long.
On the ready.
3rd and long, dangerous territory against this Talons defense. They are ready for whatever Wiseman's got.
32 picks in the first quarter. Wiseman going to air it out again, this time all the way to the end zone. Oh, my goodness.
Oof.
Tijon Wright nearly had that one, but the coverage was perfect.
Yeah, one-on-one. Wright goes up, tries to high point it, just knocked loose right there at the end by Bernstein. One of the very best in the league at exactly that, just breaking up passes at the point of contact. And Milwaukee's going to have to punt this one away.
Just punching the ball free at the last possible second. Heads up awareness, and the punt is away. It's going to be angled toward the sideline, out of bounds at the 8. A decent
Not
punt
bad
from Brandon Cutter as Dallas will take over. A lot of punts here in the last couple of minutes here. Not a whole lot of movement after that very exciting first half, John.
Yeah. And I've seen a few games like that, especially with Dallas. They do get off to a quick start sometimes and then cool off a little bit. Cameron Duty looking to maybe change that trend, get some points on the board here before the end of the half.
Formation, they'll try a run. No, another play action, then flip it out to James on the halfback.
Great call. I mean, it's a great call. Like you play action, you check what's downfield. Nope, nothing there. You check down, get it out to James. He's clear in the flat for about 12 yards.
Up to 21 now. After the first play of the drive, another play action. Duty, right side, open man, caught. Neil Rivers, 48-yard line. Same old story never ends for Dallas.
27 yards there, in addition to his already impressive game. Just getting his hands up there, knows he's going to take a hit, doesn't matter. He's just too big, he's too strong. Pushed out of bounds, and another first down for Dallas.
10 Lobo.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I got you.
Quickly from the drive that started back inside their own 10, now at the 48-yard line as Lockley gets turned around. Trying to go for a 360 and then take off, but Milwaukee, so they had plenty of time. Waters gets there in time.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit behind Lockley. He had to kind of come back around to it. It spun him around. Just lost his balance. Couldn't quite get back upfield fast enough. Lost a couple on that play.
I think he got PTSD from the 3-cone drill over at the combine or something. That's what it ended up looking like from my point of view.
It did. It did. But you'll get another shot here.
I'll bring up 2nd and 12 now. Here for Dallas. Close in on the 2-minute warning. Handoff middle. James. It's his turn to be met by a host of Stags. And Alonzo Owens hauls him down. Another loss of 2. And that should take us to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, they don't have to run another play here, and they probably shouldn't. They should take a minute, think about what they want to run on 3rd and quite long.
When we come back, 2 minutes to go in this first half. Dallas 24, Milwaukee 7. It's a beautiful night for football on the Virtual Football Network. Tyler Falk and John Warren here on the call, here from Wisconsin. Dallas with the football here on 3rd and 14. Duty with plenty of time. Finally chucks it down underneath on a 1 tackle, but finally pushed out of bounds with Taylor. And another 4th down upcoming here for Dallas. Milwaukee standing tall here in this later half of the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a smart choice by Cameron Duty. Just check it down. Everything else is probably a big risk. Check it down, see what Isaiah Taylor could do. It wasn't enough. They're going to have to punt this ball away. But I still think that was the right call. Milwaukee will get a shot to get the ball back and perhaps put some points on the board.
The punt is away from Stong, and that one just a bit too much. They go out of the end zone, and so Milwaukee from their own 20. Points of any variety here to begin this drive would certainly help their cause. They do have to kick the ball away to begin the second half, so a chance here to get back on schedule.
Yeah, I think they'd take anything.
Wiseman drag over the middle, a gain of 7. Right? As they will go back to the huddle.
Even getting in field goal range, I think, would be a pretty big win here. So Adam Wiseman just got to take care of the ball.
Keep all 3 of those timeouts. Flip out left side, caught. Churchill gets thrown back behind the 30, but no marking forward progress. A yard forward, first down, Milwaukee.
And more crucially, got out of bounds, so they can conserve their timeouts.
What a heavy tight end look. A 2-minute drill. Weirdness, but Wiseman gonna uncork it again. Got a receiver in stride. Caught by Churchill to the 4-yard line. That's what's been missing all game long.
A tight end set. You mentioned it right at the beginning of the play. Everyone kind of bunched up at the line. Churchill just gets a step, one-on-one coverage. You love his odds, 6'1", high pointing it, gets hit at the end, but not before getting to around the 3-yard line. Oh my gosh, what a play.
Watch center right side, Wiseman with 4 yards to go, backing up, pumping, no, can't get rid of it, down he goes, and it's fumbled! Dallas takes over! Justin Barnett scoops up the loose pigskin. Derek Briggs, the one who jarred it free. Oh my goodness. That one's going to be interesting.
I think that's going to stay with Milwaukee, but when I saw it live, I wasn't sure. His elbow might have been the thing that knocked it loose, but they ought to take a look at the very least. That was so close. But if it stands, okay, they're going to take a look.
It had to be a booth review, and so they do call down to the referee and say, hey, we got to take a look at this. Wiseman's, his right knee looks clearly down. Watch his right knee.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. But boy, that is close. That is so close. I think they're going to, oh my gosh.
Let's get the official call from the referee. His elbow hit the lineman's ankle, and they do get it down.
Milwaukee.
It is a sack for Derek Briggs. And it's 2nd and goal, and Wiseman to take all the time in the world again. Back down he goes, back behind the 20-yard line. Thomas this time gets the sack.
Oh, how do you get that huge play to Churchill and squander it? 2 sacks in a row. Just, you were at the 4-yard line. Oh my goodness. Just too much time. Nothing, I mean, just the coverage is absolutely blanketing those receivers downfield. That's when you might want to see Wiseman try to take off and do something. Instead, just holds on to it way too long. Goodness. I mean, throw it away. You have to do something there. You just can't lose your positioning when you're at the 4-yard line.
Blitz coming, flip out left side here on 3rd and goal from the 23. They'll get inside the 20. But the Longfellow is not going to escape Palmer. They'll try for a field. They should be able to get points here, unless the wind is crazy here in Wisconsin, which it doesn't feel like it is. So a chance now from, quick maths here, 36 yards out from the left hash. There's the timeout called by Milwaukee as Sam Reed from 36, officially now from the left hash, with a chance to put double digits on the scoreboard for Milwaukee as we go into halftime. 4 seconds to go. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. And there's some points for Milwaukee. They're up to 10 now. with just 1 tick to go in this first half.
I said they'd be happy with anything, but oh, the way they got that 3 points is brutal. They're gonna be talking about that in Milwaukee if they do end up losing this game. They're gonna be talking about that drive all week because you get Churchill on 65-yard, unbelievable catch, sets him up at the 4. You end up losing 20 yards on 2 consecutive sacks. Have to settle for 3. Listen, Milwaukee's still very much in this game. We've got a whole half, only down by 2 scores, but that feels big, and Dallas able to just come away, only giving up 3 points.
Need taken down to the end zone. 1 more play from scrimmage now for Dallas before we head into halftime. Goody go under center. He'll hand off to James right side, trying to find a couple blockers. Good run of 9 as the clock now hits triple zeros. And we go into halftime. 24-10. The Talons are right now soaring pretty nicely over Milwaukee's skyline. It's really been a very tour de force, if you will, John.
Yeah, they're dominating in really every statistical category, and I really want to focus on the defense, though. Those 2 early turnovers really made they set the tone here. Adam Wiseman, known for protecting the football while still being a high-octane offensive threat. Dallas really neutralized him early, and even though they got back into the game, with Mike Churchill and other players contributing, Dallas has just really been a tough nut to crack for this offense, who is usually better at putting points on the board. So we'll see if they make adjustments here in the second half, but Dallas feels like they are in control up 2 scores.
BFN hosting UFL football. We come back.
This presentation of the UFL is intended for the private use of our audience. Any accounts or descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back to Milwaukee. I'm Tyler Falk. He's John Warren. Great to have your company here for Week 10 as the final game of the week gets going, and the return up to the 31-yard line. I want to bring on our AI expert, Cameron Irvine, here one more time. Got just a random question for you. It's been really been bugging me for the longest time. I need to know here, Cam. What is your favorite flavor of ice cream float?
Yeah. Didn't we have enough food conversation when Mike and Gerald went on their tangent about Skyline Chili last night? It's just I'm sorry. This just seems like a Mike Daggs request. What was the question again? I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. I need your favorite flavor of ice cream float as Travius James gets bubble up in the backfield.
Like a root beer float?
Well, it could be root beer, or it could be something else. What do you got?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's been like 15 years since I've had a float. I don't know that I have a favorite. That's like the worst. You couldn't have come up with a more horrible question. I don't even have an answer.
Cameron, quit attacking my broadcast partner.
I'm sorry. He's attacking my credibility by me not having a favorite ice cream float.
You could say Fanta. You could say Dr. Pepper for like. You could say I don't know. Even cream soda, which I kind of.
I gotta get my float game going. Hello.
There we go. Duty to Lockley.
Oh.
No. Could have had it after 2 Milwaukee defenders got their mitts on it. Instead, it's not a turnover on downs, but Dallas will have to punt. Wow, what a play call on 3rd and short.
I mean, talk about a float. I mean, that was just up there in the air for what felt like 10 seconds, enough time for Cruz and the other Milwaukee player Coles to get there. I thought it was actually intercepted, but it just got knocked down to the ground. Dallas starting aggressive, but they're going to have to punt this away.
Indeed, they do. And it's going to take a hop at the 1, but bounce in for Milwaukee. As now the Stags will have a chance now to get on the board. The defense able to hold the Talons offense. Now can they get the ball rolling? What adjustments have they made coming into the second half to get them back in this game? Only down by 14. Blitz coming. Flip out near side. That is caught and quickly corralled after a minimal gain. Up 3 yards on first down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they try to get Churchill vertical again. I mean, the Dallas feels a little bit vulnerable if you give them looks that don't make it seem like Churchill's going to get loose downfield. He's always a threat.
Left right side, Longfellow's only going to gain a couple more. Stop it for the second time in a row by Frank Bernstein. And it brings up 3rd and 5.
58, the money. Here we go.
Shotgun look for Wiseman. Another blitz coming from Dallas. Heater over the middle is caught. For a wide open Scotch Henderson.
Yeah, and that was a heater. You're absolutely right. Came out of his hands scorching hot. Scorch caught it. Hot hands meet hot hands.
If you listen very closely, you can hear the sizzle coming off that ball. Or maybe the gloves. I can't tell anymore with Scorch. Pistol look here for Wiseman. Try and go with a run, a little bit of misdirection, and Nick Longfellow runs over a defender for a couple extra yards.
Yeah, Longfellow, it's interesting. You want to keep Dallas honest, but they've just been so good at bottling him up all game. It'll be interesting to see what kind of load he gets in the second half.
Pass coming from Wiseman. Oh my goodness. Overthrew his intended target, and Bernstein nearly had a basket catch.
Bernstein. Oh my gosh, he's going to be laughing on the sidelines later about that. That was almost a surefire pick.
Wiseman looking left side. That's caught. Brilliant move from the tight end right.
Nice
It looked like
play.
he was running a flat, and then he just turned upfield the last second, catching his opposite number off guard.
Yeah, he ran that route about as smoothly as you can see a runner run a route, just cutting upfield so abruptly. Caught his defender completely off guard, gets the first down there. So moving the sticks here for Milwaukee.
58 right there. Hey, pick your game up.
Tight ends right, 2 right outs here for Wiseman. Quick drop, looking for someone near side. That's caught. Up to the 45-yard line, goes right again.
Yeah, right's been the hot target here for Milwaukee. And Wiseman's just looking his way. I know that both Churchill and Henderson are going to get a lot of attention. Wright has been operating like a safety blanket this entire game.
Set, ready, 18 Gator.
58, the money. Let's go.
2nd and 7 now upcoming here for the Stags. Try and run, and Nick Loving is not loving that. Van Hulten trying to take McLongfellow's name in vain. Down for a loss of 1.
Yeah, Van Hulten just sheds that blocker so fast. Is there unbelievable talent? Van Hulten just there, not the biggest defensive lineman, but very quick. And that's what makes him so dangerous. Under 300 yards, he's only 6'1".
That's left side, nearly picked.
God. These drop picks are the story. I mean, Milwaukee getting away with something here. I mean, they've had a couple of really bad passes here. Oh, just dropped.
Churchill. And just brilliant play by Corin Foxworth. There's a reason why he's the #1 tight end on their depth chart. And now it's for breaking up passes just like that.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's going to have to punt. Another solid punt again here from Cutter. It'll be out of bounds. I think around the back of the end zone, so we'll bring it up to the 20-yard line. And here comes Cameron Duty. A solid start. Started 6 for 10.
Here we go.
Begin the ball game.
Hey, we got time.
Since he's
Watch that.
done about 50% after that.
Yeah.
3 down, 3 down.
On middle, James. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen a team be able to find a way to cause the defense to part like the Red Sea like we've had multiple times tonight for Travis James.
There's just been so much space between these Dallas offensive players and Milwaukee's defensive players. I'm stunned by some of what I've seen. It's just yards and yards of just no contact.
He's near side, and he's going to be sandwiched at the 43-yard line. And the one thing about James, John, is he's a consistent player.
Absolutely, and we've just seen this line push people around. They're not stacking the box very effectively. We've seen soft coverages. It's just been a strange game. If you're watching just Milwaukee's defensive formats and play calling, it's just a bizarre game.
They come out in the nickel against this heavy two tight end I formation set. Try and run, and well, maybe it's the speed. Maybe they're trying to counter the power with a little bit of speed, because right now that worked on that play.
Yeah, they only got 1 yard on that play, but it's just again, just strange formation choices against this Dallas offense.
3-4 look down here from Milwaukee. Duty gonna look for the halfback swing, and James able to pick up a couple yards, setting up third and medium.
Yeah, if that had been on target and in stride, that's probably a first down, but instead, James had to kind of leap up for it, only got 2 yards on the play, setting up a third and long here at midfield.
Duty, a three-man rush. He's gonna fire it open at the 35. Caught. First down again for Dallas. Freddie Grady.
What a hit that Freddie Grady took, but held on to the ball. Oh, just knows when he's going to land. He's going to take a big shot. Doesn't matter. Held on to the ball. Big first down and moved the sticks.
That's what you want from your slot receiver.
Absolutely.
You're going to get beat up. You have to be able to haul on the football and maintain the catch when you get hit by these big, burly linebackers. Handoff middle. James juke moves again. Jukes himself into a tackle near the line to gain.
That juke move is just a thing of beauty. Even if it didn't totally work that time, I just love seeing it every single time.
Second and short.
Ooh.
James this time can't get going quick enough. Taken down by Maurice Burns, the unclaimed outside linebacker.
And you can see, you were talking about Burns with these big defensive mismatches. He is only 5'11". He's a speedy linebacker. You can see that they're just getting around the corner really fast and taking down James. Good tackler too. So unclaimed player, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from him.
Tight ends left, two wideouts right here on 3rd and 2. Dallas can really have their way. Run
Ooh.
Middle. James going nowhere. Milwaukee all over it. Corby Carnes with a tackle behind the lines. Going to set up a long field goal attempt for Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, I think, an impressive. It was an impressive showing for Milwaukee. I also questioned the offensive play calling there on that play, on that drive from Dallas, but they're going to attempt to kick a field goal here.
Field goal is up and good from Ruth. 27-10. Dallas again take a 3-score lead after a decent drive from their offense. For UFL's schedule, standings, stats, rankings, and more, visit the league website at UFL.football and claim your player today. You can help your favorite team succeed there too by just being a fan and declaring your fandom. UFL.football, the official home of everything UFL.
Yeah, 3-score game at the end of the third feels big to me in terms of, being a potentially insurmountable lead. But Milwaukee, again, they can put up points in a hurry. We've seen them do it several times. They put up over 50 points before in games. So I know what they're capable of. I know what Adam Wiseman is capable of. I know what Churchill's capable of. This game is not over, but they've got to put something together here. At least get ways downfield before the end of this quarter and make the fourth quarter more interesting for the Dallas talent.
Oh, do you, again, just a minute to go, a little over a minute to go here in this third quarter. Do you abandon the run and try and hope Wiseman can keep it through the air, or they try and do a little trickery run left side by the tight end right for a good gain of 8?
You know, it's the old commentator's privilege of being able to say, you know what, when a trick play works, it really makes a lot of sense, and when it doesn't, it's one of the stupidest things you can do. But that's how it's kind of been. They've had that play was nice. Now we got an offsides here. That's going to help Milwaukee out.
It's going to be a free first down.
There we go.
Wiseman catches Burnett.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A little bit jumpy, and so Milwaukee, new set of downs on their own 38.
As I was saying, I don't mind the trick play when it works out in your favor, but we saw that RPO earlier where Wiseman kept it, and that was just a huge mistake.
Run up the middle, like Longfellow, and you can see his stats there. He's just had another night to forget at the tailback position.
Yeah, this has not been a good night for him, but guess you got to keep the Talons defense honest. Oh my
drop,
God.
And even that isn't enough to elude the pressure. Ryan Van Holten again in the backfield, this time for a sack.
That's Van Holten's first sack of the game, and it's just an absolute no-brainer. Shed that first blocker within less than half a second after that ball was snapped. He was in the backfield. Wiseman had no shot to even get rid of that ball.
They've reached the end of the quarter. Talons in control, 27-10. Can Milwaukee have anything left in the tank here in front of their own crowd?
You're trapped.
Welcome back. The home of the Stags, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tyler Falk, John Warner, the call. That's a deep bomb that is incomplete, intended for Churchill, but he was being overridden by his coverage. It looked like the pass was more intended for a white shirt than a red shirt.
Yeah, we've seen a few of those, and I get it. You want Churchill to make his mark on this game. He's taken over games before, but Foxworth just had every single step on that. In fact, Churchill had to play defense on this one. He played it well, knocking it away from Foxworth, preventing a big turnover, and they're going to go for it here. 4th and 14 on their own side of the field. Oh my.
Here we go. 4th down try, and they are not going to get it. Looking for Churchill again. I want to bring in Cameron Irvine again because that was a gutsy call from deep in their own territory, and that's just something that's just another beauty, even though it didn't work out for Milwaukee this time.
Yeah, because they were down by more than 16, they went for it there. The score is the ultimate deciding factor in that because you need 3 scores and there's only 12 minutes left. Now what this does, because they didn't convert, is it gives Dallas a short field. If Dallas scores a touchdown, it's still a 3-score game and you get the ball right back. Otherwise, you punt it to Dallas and give them a long field to potentially drain half the quarter. Who knows with the way they're playing tonight if they settle for, or if they keep them up to a field goal as James gets another 9-yard run. Then they don't even need any 2-point conversion. So we're trying to extend Milwaukee's life here by having them go for it in 4th down in that situation. Unfortunately, they were unable to convert.
All they need is another half-yard. Thank you, Cam. Run left side. James stiff arm looking for the first down, but he's finally corralled. He got bunted back maybe a couple yards, but he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Very unlikely no first down there. I thought James for sure had it, but Milwaukee able to bottle him up after that first stiff arm.
Trips right. Pass on a slant. That's caught.
Who
That's
else?
Rivers.
Who else?
Mr. Moneyman tight end up to the 15.
Now he's up to 100 yards for the day, 109. That is just another day at the office really for Neil Rivers, but just such an impressive player. I also want to point out, Cameron in the stats booth helping us out here, pointing out that really the difference maker in this game was that first quarter where Dallas went up 17-0. Since then, it's been 10-10, an even game. But that first quarter where Dallas was so dominant, they just got up and haven't looked back.
20 passes, 20 runs, a good balanced approach here from the Talons. Scott left side, Rivers to the 2, no, incomplete, they'll say. Couldn't get both feet down before he ran out of bounds.
Oh, wow, that looked good to me. I don't know if that's worth challenging, but that looked like a good catch on the sideline. Maybe we couldn't get a good angle of it, but regardless, they're going to just run this play.
They'll try and use their tailback walls for a little extra yards. We bring up 3rd and 9, a chance for maybe Milwaukee to come up with something here.
Sure.
Watch a slant.
Let's try and run with James through the middle. He gets caught by Charles Green. And it'll bring up 4th down, and another field goal opportunity for Dallas to go up by 20.
Dallas clearly content, just, running out some clock and then putting another 3 up on the board. To Cameron's point, touchdown would still make this a 3-score game. So it's not like there's a huge difference between those two.
You can see the upcoming slate of games as the field goal is up and good. How about that first slate of games we saw earlier, or on June 12th? So that being next Thursday. All teams on that night are above 500. How about that? That has
huge.
The potential to be the best and most competitive night of UFL football prior to this upcoming postseason.
Yeah, and all of them are bangers. Like you could circle any of these and put them in the primetime slot and watch it. But regardless, that game night slot where you're getting to watch all 3 games at once, I mean, I just cannot wait for Thursday, June 12th. That's going to be a really fun night. I've got Vegas, Miami circled because Miami trying to keep pace with Dallas. So it looks like they're also going to go to 7-2 on the season.
Let's go.
Milwaukee's going to, as things stand at the moment with 9 minutes to go, they're going to drop below 500, and that very tight Great Lakes division, instead of getting to back within a half a game of Cincinnati, now they'll fall below 500, and they'll continue to fight it out with Motor City and Chicago in that division. Pass near side, that is caught by Scorch. That's pick up 4. Meanwhile, for Dallas, that will move them 1 game clear of St. Louis, 2 games clear of Wichita, who's cooled off after a very hot start. And that Central Division in the Great East is really heating up as well. Floater right side, a little bit too much air underneath the football, targeting McLongfellow, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, he had a little too much mustard on that over Longfellow's head. 3rd and 6 here. Dallas lined up. Looks like man-to-man coverage here.
Pass over the middle, caught on a stop route. Churchill. One of his few receptions tonight. Dallas have done a good job containing him, only his 5th. He does have over 100 yards.
They've done a good job containing him, but I figured that would be the case there, that Churchill would just do a big stop route, catch that ball because he was in man coverage.
A little bit of miscommunication between the wide receivers, or maybe just some ill route running, because 2 Stags ran into each other and the pass goes to no one.
Ready? 10 Lobo.
Focus, defense, focus.
Another interesting formation here for the Stags.
Go.
4-man rush. Wiseman on 2nd down takes another hit from Van Holten.
Van Holten just starting to make his mark on this game. He's had a huge second half. Both of his sacks here in the second half. Disrupted a few plays in the first half.
I'll tell you what, he's leaving a mark on Wiseman right now. Maybe a couple bruises from him. As Wiseman looking near side and still trying to figure out who he's trying to throw that ball to. 4th and 17 upcoming.
4th and 17 coming up, and they're going to have a miracle here. I understand who he was going for there, but just had too much air under it, overthrew his man. I think that was Scorch Henderson, perhaps.
maybe he's trying to get somebody else involved because Dallas has really contained all the wide receivers. And case in point, there's the third interception of the game. Darrell Andrews picks off the quarterback, and this Milwaukee crowd is giving it to their offense. They are unhappy.
Yeah, they are very unhappy. This has not been a good home showing for the Stags. Crowd trying to get into it with the "Go Stag Go" chant. But nothing doing for this team on this night. Dallas is coming in, trying to make a statement, trying to keep pace with Miami. Wild game, but Duty and the Talons are going to come out with a big victory here.
Well, if there's one thing that can be said here for Wiseman, it's not his worst game he's had this season. He did throw 4 interceptions to St. Louis all the way back on March 8th.
Yeah, he's a real when it rains, it pours guy. I think he came into this week with 9 interceptions. 4 of them had been on one night and then kind of peppered throughout. So he can have these moments. He just did not need to have one tonight at home against a team that is clearly one of the best teams, definitely in the East, if not in the entire league.
I will say those 4 interceptions before coming into tonight are half of the total he had coming into the game, and now with 3, that brings him up to 11 as James gets the call, and he's going to just fending off a defender trying to rip the ball out of his hand. First down for Dallas. Milwaukee, it's not the way they would have liked this game to have ended, but they will have to go on the road. It's a 2-game road trip. First, they start in Colorado where they play the Denver Avengers before coming home to play, going on the road again to play Wichita, followed by a back-to-back homestand of San Diego and Washington as James gets another call. That middle of the field has been wide open for James to run through, and he's gashing him for 150 plus now.
Yeah, partner, we wondered at the beginning of the game, actually, before we came on air, like, what kind of game is Travius James going to have? And I thought he would have a good game, but he has nearly doubled his average per game. I mean, he's got 150 yards. He's had a very, very good, I mean, he had that huge run in the first half, but he's just been so consistent.
This time it's Carlos Johnson, the speedy third string tailback, getting involved. 5 yards. And meanwhile, for Dallas, this 3-game road trip couldn't have started off any better. After taking down Cincinnati a week ago, now taking down Milwaukee. Now they got to go on the road again and play Montana and Tennessee. Both of those 2 teams are well below 500 before going home to play Albuquerque, who currently does sit below 500. And that pass nearly intercepted by one hand. Brilliant job by the linebacker. But I do got to say, Dallas, John, right now is on the fast track to really pull ahead there in the Great East. 3rd and 5.
They don't play a winning team until a team with winning records until August 12th. I mean, this is a pretty easy schedule they got right now.
And Duty, well, he's going to still take off and run. Cameron Duty is going to survive, but still lose 2 yards. He survives the sack. No one still gets open for him. He has to try and do it himself.
Oh, wow. That may have been the most impressive escape that ended up in a sack I've ever seen. I can't believe he evaded that first hit, but gets out far side, scrambles, ends up only losing about a yard on the play. What a play by Cameron Duty. Listen, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it. I don't know what to tell you. They're going to try to kick a field goal here and go up by 23. Shackelford, that's his 3rd sack of the season.
I will say that long play did take off a good chunk of time on the clock. And the field goal is up and good. 33-10. Now the score here in Wisconsin. Been a very good night. Dallas, and a very good day kicking field goals for Ruth, who has yet to miss one here tonight.
Dallas is going to go home, and they're going to feel pretty good about this. I think, well, they're not going to go home. They're going to go on the road against Montana. But, I mean, when they leave this game, go home, regroup, start practice, they've got to be pretty excited. I think Dallas, as a fan base, is going to be pretty excited because that win against Cincinnati after they lost 2 in a row did not look super impressive. They were not scoring a ton of points. This offense looked a little listless. They really got back into a stride today. It started with their defense for sure, but Cameron Duty and Travius James and this receiving core, they looked awfully good. Of course, Neil Rivers really broke the game open early.
Out trots Wiseman for another drive. Those interceptions really telling here at the moment. 4 minutes, 25 seconds to save face. They'll be back to pass on the right side on a stop route. That's hot. 38-yard line. Wiseman will hustle his troops back to the line. We're going to see plenty more of this hurry up from Milwaukee the rest of the way. Just trying to keep their conditioning in good form for the later part of the season. That's another stop route, but this time is broken up by the hit by Trevance Roberts.
Yeah, for Milwaukee, they've got to really kind of figure out what kind of team they want to be. I mean, if they want to rely on Adam Wiseman and only Adam Wiseman and his arm, they can see how bad that can break. Oh, as he takes
Wiseman again.
Here.
Another sack from Dallas. Julian Heim gets to the backfield, and Wiseman and his front five really just have had no answers for this pass rush. Wiseman gonna have to check it down right side, turning upfield, caught, chopped down about 3 yards shy, tackled by Roberts, and potentially the final offensive play of the game coming up for Milwaukee.
Yeah, we'll see if they can move the sticks here and keep this thing alive. Right there with a nice catch. He's had a couple of nice catches, but he's also been, I would say, over-targeted at times from Wiseman. He's made a couple of errant throws his direction that resulted in turnovers. 4 for 3.
Wiseman to throw, looking middle, that is caught on the run. The cover 2 got burned. Over the middle.
Surprised they did not take any linebacker, keep them in the middle, maybe as a spy, something to blanket the tight end, but nothing doing. Wide open there, moves the chains.
Rush Van Holten, number 3.
Van Holten is just a maniac out there. Again, undersized as a defensive lineman, but that speed is undeniable. 7 sacks for Dallas tonight in total.
Send the pressure again. Pass middle, open is the tailback, Mick Longfellow. He gets a first down to the 12-yard line. Clock quickly approaching the 2-minute warning.
And that's maybe the adjustments I would make. I mean, just get more receivers in space closer to the line of scrimmage. It may end up paying dividends for Milwaukee down the road.
Final play for the 2-minute warning. Pass underneath, caught. Churchill for the 2. They'll call it first and goal there for Mike Churchill as we do at the 2-minute warning, down by 23. Well, 2 minutes, still plenty of time. What can the Stags come up with? 1:58 to go. Wiseman from the gun, looking for a flip out right side. Mick Longfellow trying to push his way forward, but Dallas says no.
Wow. Dallas is really, it's not enough to win the game. They really want to prevent this touchdown. Garbage time touchdown here from Milwaukee.
Slot receivers, Wiseman looking near side. That's nearly picked. Trevance Roberts gets a hand in there, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Cameron pointing out in the truck that they actually marked Longfellow back, I guess, because he was trying to stay up and get those extra yards.
Wiseman with time, looking at right side, caught, touchdown. Dijon Wright calls it in.
Hey.
First passing touchdown of the game for Adam Wiseman.
They need 3 scores. They got 1. They got one. We're going to have to get an onside kick here. We're going to have to get another onside kick. We know how rare those are, but hey, if you got a chance, you got a chance. Great looking toe drag there. Right, able to get that left foot clearly planted, but then that right foot dragged beautifully across into the out of bounds boundary. That's a clear touchdown. Nice job. See if they can put something together. They're going to review this. This looked like a clear touchdown to me, but going to take a look at it. Everything within 2 minutes has to come from the booth.
I got to take a look at that, see if there's any sort of the grass that comes up. Maybe that right foot's down.
I just don't see any daylight between the toe and the grass. I think this is pretty clear.
Here's the call, and it will stand.
30 base.
Touchdown. Milwaukee gonna go for 2 now. Gotta get points and gotta get a bunch of them. Wiseman batted away. Heads up play from Jordan Palmer, and it's 33-16.
Yeah, this is interesting now. With that two, and they missed it. That's gonna keep them at a 3-possession game, I think. By my math, am I doing math right? Cameron wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I think that 2-point conversion helps them out a bunch in terms of some algorithms. Cam, you want to speak to that 2-point try?
Yeah, this one is kind of a quality of life thing for us as a league. Listen, you're down by 17. If you're down by 16 or less, you start calling timeouts to try to get the ball back. But if you're down by 17, you don't. So we say, why don't you try to get one of those 2-point conversions now to see what we've got going on in this game?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the onside kick is hauled in by Dallas. Neil Rivers will Mr. Moneyman Hands gets the onside kick, and that should pretty much do that. Milwaukee not going to be able to come up with the miracle here in this one. They will fold Dallas. Scoreline to be finalized, but at the moment it's 33-16. Trayvon James, even though he's been hurt, he's been able to do plenty of damage.
Big game. And it starts with what we just saw there. I mean, it's like he's not even being touched before 7-8 yards downfield. I mean, he's been doing this all game. The line has been solid all season, but tonight they're just pushing Milwaukee around. I mean, this is just really truly a strange thing to see an offensive line just move that front 7 so easily. I mean, Milwaukee knows it's coming. They're going to stack the box. Game's over.
It's like that front 7 from Milwaukee is in a French tank. It has 1 gear to go forward and 14 to go back, and that's all they've been doing tonight.
That's a season high, too, 167 yards for Travis James. And, it couldn't come at a better time. They're trying to keep pace with Miami in the East. Big game.
12th best performance by a running back this season. As Duty's going to try and put it away here. No, he's just going to tuck it, take the sack. and hey, he put a knee down. It still works. Clock is 000. Mills gets the final play of the game with the sack. And Dallas will get out of Wisconsin with a 33-16 win before heading over to Montana to take on the Silvertips as they now tie Miami for head of the Great East Conference at 7-2. Milwaukee falls to 4-5. That's your final score. Here from Wisconsin. John, walk us through this one more time before we send everybody home happy.
It really was a tone setter. That first quarter where Dallas has jumped all over him, going 17-0. That was the difference maker. They never let Adam Wiseman get into any sort of rhythm. They contained Mike Churchill. I'm giving my game ball to this defense. I know it's kind of cheap to say, but it's like, who do you give it to on the defensive side individually? Everyone had some contribution. Ryan Van Holten had 3 sacks in the second half. Bernstein had some incredible breakups, and of course the interceptions. This defense set the tone and really controlled the pace of this game. Made a great quarterback look pretty bad. And then Dallas's offense, including the very impressive Travius James, just made it easy for that defense to continue to operate at a high level. So, yeah, a lot to like about Dallas's performance. Milwaukee, on the other hand, they got some stuff to figure out. They've got some real big talent there on the offensive side of the ball with Churchill and Henderson. Wiseman not getting a lot of time or a lot of opportunity to get that ball to those receivers. That's got to change if they want any sort of chance of making the postseason.
33-16, your final once again here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. More UFL action coming up next week as Week 11 kicks off on Tuesday with game nights, followed by Primetime once again. Thank you all for joining us. He's John Warren, our AI expert and commissioner, and co-founder is Kevin Irvine. I'm Tyler Falk. We'll catch you next time. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.